Welcome and good evening, wonderful dice of all alignments. I am Lunar D8, and this is Let's Play Tales to Rise Part 13. I know I was just staring at it, but I want to double check OBS. Yep, OBS Chan is fine. Okay, so, when last left off, Alphen found out that he's like 300 plus years old. He's on its way to becoming Gandalf. This movie is now be called Gandalf Begins. That actually would be a great movie. Because, you know, like the actor Ian McKellen who plays Gandalf, you know, the older version. That's the older version, but there is only the one version right now. You know, because same actor for the Hobbit movies and the Lord of the Rings movies. But he plays Magneto, the older Magneto. But Michael Fassbender plays the young Magneto. One, in Multiverse Spider-Man, I wanted to see Michael Fassbender from the X-Men come and, you know, become Spider-Man's friend. But more importantly, what if we had a movie called Gandalf Begins? And it was about, you know, the early, like, when Gandalf, you know, was just starting. Because everyone's like old friend. Well, what about when they became friends? What about when Gandalf first, you know, met everybody? You know, Gandalf Begins. That would be a great movie, wouldn't it? What would you guys want to see in that? Wonder if they'd ever eventually make that into a video game. Hi! Hello? You guys are on the ship. I'm glad you're alive. Thought I saw something shiny. Can I jump over this? Can I walk around it? I stole your boxed beef. There's fresh over here, though.
You're certainly full of surprises, aren't you?
Kind of quiet.
Trust me, it's not intentional. Sorry, that was insensitive of me. Though, there's still an awful lot I wish I could understand. Every new piece of information seems only to yield further mysteries. The truth feels just as elusive as when we first started. I am well aware of where you got your power. But why, as a Danon, do you bear the same crest as the current Renan sovereign? More to the point, why choose a Danon for their sovereign in the first place?
It was probably dangerous.
And then there is the Maiden. A figure so powerful, she's playing yin to the sovereign's yang in esoteric ceremonies. And yet, I've never even heard of her. Then again, this all occurred 300 years ago. What if the term sovereign doesn't even hold the same meaning as it did back then?
I assume it was dangerous.
Listen, I may be a traitor among my people, but I am still Renan, born and raised. I learned the same history, listened rapt to the same tales. And yet now I feel like there was little truth to any of it.
Speaking of which, there's something else that I remember from the spirit channeling ceremony. It used the Renis Alma.
You're certain?
Yes. Or at least that's what they called it. Only you would know if it was one and the same.
Oh, I have never laid eyes on the real artifact myself. And you never participated in a crown contest. You're not even Renan. Many mysteries lay buried in these 3 centuries past.
3 centuries is more than several lifetimes. Was I really out that long?
You have superpowers. We don't get older, I
Estimating
guess.
based on historical record. But all the facts would seem to point that way.
Who the hell am I?
If I may be frank, we have even bigger fish to fry than that. By comparison, the far more important question at hand is, just what does it all mean?
Maybe being sovereign means you're a giant battery for the Death Star.
Addressing the truth behind our pain. Not to compete over lives lost, but I suspect your count is still somewhat beneath mine.
Thanks for lending me an ear. And sorry for being a bother.
You're not a bother, buddy.
No thanks are necessary. The quicker you get back on your feet, the sooner we can all get back out there.
Yeah, like, really don't think like he should blame himself in that situation. He really didn't have a choice. Wait. I'm in the ocean! Yay! I'm in the ocean! I don't even know what sea bream is, but now I have it. It still counts. This still counts as being in the ocean. Granted, I would never want to be in the real world ocean in the very deep parts, because, you know, it's where sharks are. And the only shark I've seen that, you know, I wouldn't find scary is Gura. Aside from that, I don't want to get eaten. I don't think I'm delicious anyway. But look at this water! Ah, it's so nice. Well, not at this angle. But yeah, it is. But it's better here. But I've never actually been to see the real world ocean. Probably the closest I've ever been was... I mean, I live in Ohio. I've been on the other side of Lake Erie, and I've been to the parts of Canada closest to Ohio. And I've been briefly in some other states for about half an hour, like Kentucky and Indiana and stuff. I have been in Washington, D.C. for about a week, but I don't think I could see the ocean from there. And if I could, I don't remember. And I did spend about 2.5 weeks in New Mexico, which is, for those of you that are unfamiliar with the United States, New Mexico is one of the states in the United States. It's just north of Mexico. It's next to places like Arizona. So I spent two of those weeks up in the mountains. I was mountain climbing. You seem to also like the ocean. But yeah, I've never actually...
I thought it was the worrying about Xion and the pain bringing you down. I didn't realize you were lonely too.
I guess all of us are. In one way or another.
Game, I feel attacked!
Found out. I mean, no, not found out. Remembered.
To tell you the truth, I was actually beginning to forget I'd even lost my memory in the first place. Now that it's returned, well, you can see what I'm...
You seem the same person, you're just sad.
When I think about Lenigan,
I think you just need
it
hugs.
was only a year or two ago that I was there. But then I realized what feels like years was actually centuries ago.
What about your hometown? Do you know if it's still there?
I doubt it. When the Renans invaded, the world as I knew it changed overnight. Even if the place is still there physically, I expect the people will be long gone. Certainly everyone I knew, at least. My family, my friends.
Yeah.
Hey!
How that feels.
I wonder if Law...
I have no home to return to either.
I wonder if Law
Only waiting for me. I
could be
my bad
your
luck that I'd
descendant.
never been born a mage in the first place. Otherwise, if I hadn't, maybe my mother and father would still be alive today. Although if that had been the case, I guess I'd probably still be just another slave with no means to resist. I'd never have met up with you guys.
This world sucks.
For sure.
Have you learned to embrace your powers yet?
It's a problem with Final Fantasy type games. It's like any of the games, like in order to make them interesting, they have to be dangerous. It's like, oh, the world of Final Fantasy is amazing. But only if you have powers, and even then you have to fight giant monsters
I guess what I'm trying to say is
that are still dangerous. The more reason it's not dangerous for players, because I'm not the one getting physically, you know,
no wonder you're conflicted.
bitten by a giant mosquito
I think
or a fucking dragon turtle.
first it was Xion, then it was me, and now it's you. All of us suffering, just because of some power we never even asked for.
Yeah. All this time you were suffering right in front of me.
And then, of course, the majority of people in that world are like, yeah, they're like, I mean, could you imagine if dinosaurs are real? Or like if squids could actually fly?
You couldn't have known. Still, if you want to make it up to her, shouldn't we hurry it up and rescue her already? Poor Xion must be lonely. all by herself wherever she is.
She's probably going to yell at us.
Let's get going.
We're going to try to rescue her, and she'll be like, please, don't save me. I hate all of you. Oh, the fact that you feel pain when you try to touch her, that means you hate me. I'm like, I can't control that. I'm sorry. Stop being angry at me. I don't know what that's called. Is that the name of the ship? That's fine. Don't worry, I'm sure the person who used their Bonkai to send us here probably already knows you exist. The fact that I'm here means nothing. He already plans to nuke all of you. Because he seems like a dick. Well, that's good. That's awful. That changed pretty quick. Okay. You seem tired. I just thought you were fascinated by starfish. Again, if starfish were bigger, that'd be the end of the planet. They'd be killing all of us. I mean, hell, imagine if starfish were 100 times the normal size and could travel across land the way they do in the ocean. Literally, starfish would be the most... We'd all die to the wrath of Patrick Star! You know, I thought it was cool when I put the butterfly wings on you. Now I feel like I just put a giant highlighter on you. Hi.
What do you see out there?
Zeugles. Strays by the looks of it. We unwittingly disturbed their territory on our way here.
When the Remnants brought the Zeugles here, and they're since they're artificially made, I feel like it's the lunar cry of Final Fantasy VIII.
All I know is Shion needs our help. As for what happens after that...
I stared way too much at Sorceress Adele's tits.
How did you get back down here from Lenegis, anyway?
I came down in a Renan starship. I have Naori to thank for that.
What happened to her? Did she come with you?
She stayed behind. Just as I wanted to get back to Dana and my people, Naori's place was with her fellow Renans, performing her duties as the maiden. Neither of us asked for the power or roles we were given. I suppose we felt a kinship with each other in that sense. But even then...
Wait, so you mean it wasn't just Danans like you that Lenegis abducted? You're saying they forced Naori, one of their own, to serve against her will as well?
I don't think people in power usually care who they're, you know, enslaving.
Despite that, she did everything she possibly could to serve her people. The very same ones I ended up
serving. I mean, I don't think people that I don't think the kind of people that really want to hurt other people care who they hurt. They just want to hurt somebody. If it becomes politically okay to hurt some group of people, they'll go with it. And if it changes, they'll change with it.
Fester for what? 300 years? How do I even begin to make up for something like that?
It's not your fault!
You don't. You can't atone for what's happened in the past. I don't think anyone can.
Also, it's not your fault, Alphen. You didn't do anything wrong.
Yesterday.
What are you saying? That I might as well give up?
No, I'm saying go to Dairy Queen!
Knight in shining armor. Back after my brother had passed away, it was you who told me that his dream lived on inside me. And you did the same for him, for Dohalim, when he was ready to
One, too. Even if it were your burden to carry, it doesn't do anything for anyone. Two, it's not your burden to carry. You didn't do anything wrong, man.
And I was out of line. I had no right to ask that of you.
No, you're wrong. Those words were exactly what I needed to hear.
Yeah, I mean, that's what friends are for.
I would go as far as to say that I wouldn't...
Same way, like, if you see somebody getting pissed off and you're about to do something that they shouldn't do, it's like, yeah, they're like, yeah, they don't want you to help at the moment, but, I mean, the same regard, I mean, if you were pissed, you'd want somebody to help you. It's just you wouldn't be in the state of mind to ask for help in that situation.
The truly terrible ones are the people who abducted you. The ones who forced you to wield that power. They're the ones you should be blaming.
Yes!
Not only
Bankai Man!
guilty,
We must blame Bankai Man!
all the
Because it's
person
actually his
you're a
fault!
good person, Alphen. Do you understand? If I'm still allowed to fight and keep on living, then damn it, Alphen, so the hell are you.
Though we still haven't addressed... You guys care that I can feel pain, that I perhaps am not as strong as I used to be,
And ask yourself,
because I might just be dead weight.
what is it that you've really been fighting for this whole time? Come on, ask yourself.
Oreos.
What I've been fighting for, huh?
Oreos. Remember one point, like, I had written a list where I, like, oh, 7 deadly sins isn't enough, so I wrote, like, 200 deadly sins. I'm silly! It was like a decade ago or something, I'm not sure. Not like it's something I've shared with anyone. Like, how the fuck would you go up to someone, even if it was a friend, like, hey! You want to read my list of 200 deadly sins? Because I'm an asshole who just... It's like, hey, what am I going to think of while working? I know! Then again, there's that concept of 820 I came up with. Like, okay, what would be a good idea for a moral system that people of all religions and nationalities could agree upon? That would be the best for everybody. Because I'm a dumbass who likes to think about philosophical things. Not because I'm smart, but because my mind tends to wander. I doubt they do. I'm sure that Mr. Bankai already knows you're here. Yeah, I guess I am scary of me. I'm sorry. Okay, I've talked to Kisara, Dolan, and Renalum? Ridwell. Her name is Ridwell. And she owns in Sky Prison. She's the princess all you can eat for Brave Fence Musashi. Yes, princess all you can eat. Everything in that game is a food pun. You're saving the kingdom of all you can eat from the Thirst Quencher Empire. I need to talk to Law. I think that's it. Where is he? Well, I only have 2 more ways I can go. Did I already go through there? So lost. Okay, that's a new place. What's that called on the map, though? What's the map button? Not a map button. Dwelling. Oh, he's over there in that fucking field. Okay, the shore's where I came from. This is probably where I was sleeping. This is fast travel. This is where we're going next. Since I'm meeting Law in a fucking open area, are we gonna fight something there? Hi. Yeah, it's not much room for fields, man. Oh, by the way, here's a question. How would people of different nationalities react to each other's foods? Like, one thing I was thinking about is this. Burritos. Like, you know, Mexican burritos. They have rice in them. But, of course, rice is mainly known as an Asian thing. When you think rice, you think Asia. So, here's the thing. 1, what is the weather like in comparison between China and Mexico? And what are the differences in how rice is farmed in Mexico and in China? Is rice even really considered like something that would naturally... Because I know corn is considered a major staple there, but I'm like, is rice normally a thing that would be grown in Mexico, or is it a thing that was introduced over time? Then again, I know technically that's the way all places are everywhere on the world, because, you know, we've been moving crops from one place to another. Heck, I think it was when back in the early 1400s that horses were introduced to North America by the Spanish. So that's really interesting, and I mean, horses were able to really flourish over here. So that's cool. But it's odd how, like, we've had a lot of species die out, and we've had a lot of species get migrated from one part of the world to another. Which also, I'd say this, unicorns probably did actually exist. Heck, dragons potentially could have existed. Or they could have just been, like, people saw skeletons of dinosaurs and were like, oh, shit, there was a dragon here. That's what this probably was. But then again, I know there's times that we've been mistaken about fossils in the modern era, where we, like, saw the skeletons of 3 different dinosaurs together, and we pieced it together and thought it was just one big-ass fucking dinosaur. So, it's hard to say, but main point, or you find the bones of a deep-sea animal, like a whale or something. You find it in a place that used to be covered by water, but now isn't. And you're like, holy shit, how big was this animal? I'm like, well, it was pretty damn big, but, you know, it didn't have to fly or some shit. You know, it was in the water. But you don't know that because now the coastline is like 1,000 miles that way. So, and of course there's a lot of species that die out, but it's just, unicorns probably did exist at some point. I mean, think about it. A horse with a spear to stab people. And we see a real-world equivalent of it in, you know, the water, you know, narwhals. So, I mean, it would make sense for animals to have ways of defending themselves. And that's it anyway. Like, unicorns, like, people seeing unicorns this week, I'm like, it's a horse with a sword! It can stab people! That's... If anything, if unicorns existed in the real world, we'd probably hunt them to extinction out of fear. Like, they would probably go around stabbing people with the giant horse. I mean, it's kind of like goats and rams. We don't really consider them a major threat, but if you go too close to a goat or ram, it will, you know, try to ram you. It will try to bite or headbutt you. The only reason it isn't a major threat is because we can usually find a way to, you know, get around them. And usually, you know, they're not, you know, as big as a horse. But, like, there are places where lions were a lot more common. And there are places where lions actually used to be a lot more widespread. Same with elephants. And rhinos. But I'll say this. If there was fucking lions that roamed wild, everybody in the world would have to be carrying, like, a gun or compound crossbows or something. Otherwise, you know, you're out walking the field and a lion approaches. Well, guess what? You're dead now. You're food. Because there's no way you can fight that shit off unless you're, like, literally the Incredible Hulk from the Bible. You know, Samson. So I think it's kind of odd that he ate honey. Because, like I said, he's beat and strangled a lion to death. And then later on, bees made a nest inside the lion. And then he ate the honey out of the lion. I'm like, you're eating fucking honey out of a corpse of an animal? That's incredibly gross. And then he went around and gave it to, like, his parents and stuff. And he didn't tell them where he got it. Like, what is this? Like I've seen that sort of stuff written in visual novels, and all of those stories are horror stories. I like honey, but not like that. It's fucking gross as hell. You know? When you guys said fields, I didn't expect a tiny fucking Minecraft plot. You do realize, with one bottle of Italian dressing from Olive Garden, I could eat your entire crop. In one meal. Not even in one day. In one meal. I'm not even that large. 200 pounds. I'm 5'10". I used to be 5'11", but I'm shrinking, apparently. Fuck you, gravity. Hello, horse. I feel like the textures for how that's drawn is weird. I'm now expecting the horse to show up behind me bipedaling. Who are you calling? Oh my god! Fine, I'll talk to them again. Let's see. First, guys, do you really think the guy with the Bankai doesn't know you're here? It's probably as soon as I talk to everybody. It's not an issue of us planning to leave to go anywhere. It's going to be there just fucking airships that are going to fucking drop carpet bombing on us. And then everything is going to be on fire in true Nibelheim fashion. Hello there.
Are we gonna go rescue Shion or what?
It's been like 10 minutes!
What's gotten into you, man? Aren't you worried about her?
I'm having an existential crisis!
In my place, you'd say, to hell with all that. What do you want to do?
Yes, that's actually probably the best way to do it. Let's Kamina the shit out of this. Let's use Kamina from Gurren Lagann.
Come on, man. Snap out of it.
Also, I don't have powers anymore.
Look, I get it. You finally remember your...
Okay, yes, I understand that. I am very appreciative that you guys are being my friends still. But I don't have powers anymore!
And yeah, I don't agree. But that doesn't mean I don't understand either. But here's the thing. None of that's got anything to do with...
What about the part where I can't touch her without, you know, being covered in explosive pain? Or the fact that I don't have a flaming sword?
Who's to say this...
Also that I feel pain from everything now, and I'm not used to it!
Fine, I've said my piece. The thing is, though, where does this leave Shion?
How am I going to punch the Bankai Man?
My power consumed me once already. I left behind a path of fire and destruction. And the same thing could happen again.
Guys, yeah, that's everything.
Guarantee anyone's safety.
Are you guys okay with that?
Shion's.
So you think we might get burned up because of your sovereign powers? I can think of worse ways to go. Come on, fight this thing. What happened to the guy who talked to me after my dad died? The one who cared enough to reach out and save me?
I think it was 3 days
I
ago.
was proud to follow. Not this faltering imposter who's taken his place. No, I'm serious. What's gotten into you, man? Just give me the word and I'll beat some sense into you if that's what...
I got knocked into the ocean!
Only once. Are you serious about rescuing Shion or not? What's it gonna be, Alphen?
What do you think? Of course I want to rescue her.
I need a ton of Pepsi first.
So then quit griping and do it already!
Do we even know where we're going?
You're probably right about all this.
Alphen.
Also, I think it's kind of like,
Whatever happened in my past.
okay, we kind of do need to talk about these things. One's what friends do, and two, you know, if we don't talk about this stuff now, eventually it becomes a worse problem later.
He could be a pain sometimes. Besides, even a hero has to let the cracks show once in a while, right?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Just give me a little more time to fill in the cracks. And thanks, Law.
Hey, don't even mention it. You've totally got this, Alphen. I believe in you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Now I expect a cutscene where sky ships are dropping bombs on us. Wee! Yep, that's... Why is the moon over there? Why are you also a star symbol? Oh, such a... Damn. I assume we're gonna get, like, bombed. Some...
There you are!
What is it?
Zeugles, that's what! They're almost at the village gates!
Any closer and they'll be house hunting. I knew we shouldn't have cut through their territory.
Was that a word?
That sounds bad.
We didn't have a choice!
Shame in bowing out if you're not up for it.
Kisara's right. You don't want to go overdoing it.
I'm up for it.
Really?
You ready? As ready as I'll ever be. It's now or never, right?
Alvin, right. Great to have you back. Now let's do this.
Okay. Seems like an odd title for an emblem. I don't hardly change what I'm using, though. I don't know how to do anything. Okay. Oh. Ah. Ah.
Look sharp, people. If we don't act fast, they're going to get into the village.
Right. We need to hurry.
Through here? Up there. Okay, it did seem like a place I'd be fighting people. There's a big ass fucking zoogles.
Remember, if the pain's too much,
We've all got our own pain to deal with. I'm done letting others pick up my slack.
Here they come.
For what? It was 10 minutes!
We can't let even a single one through.
There's a firm no-Zoogle policy.
Fine by me. Let's get to work then.
This one's all mine.
is it hot?
You picked the wrong
Back
fight.
down again. Now. Frozen.
Hammer.
That's a new one. I haven't seen that one before.
That's my cue.
Shut him down.
Tiger blade. I'm on it. Talon storm. Tiger blade. Talon hurricane. Make it ready.
Kisara. Frozen.
Hammer. Power enough.
Too fast. 10 pack. I'll trip it up.
Kisara. Frozen.
Wow, well, they're using that one a lot.
Strong. You pick. Be my guest.
Make it rain.
Lock.
Demon's descent. Flashing fang.
Alvin, you okay?
I'm fine.
No.
This pain thing really hurts, huh?
But hey, at least you're still alive.
I don't know if that's a good trade-off.
If it was pleasant. It can be pretty useful, though. It's good motivation to improve and get stronger.
Guess I've got a lot of room to improve in that regard.
Anyway, I'm glad we could protect the village, especially after everything they've done for us.
Like I said, I'm pretty sure Mr. Bankai already knows this place exists.
Yeah.
They're all gonna die.
You know, this one kind of reminds me of home. The people here have
Oh, God!
a way out of the fear of being found.
You know what else reminds me of your home? Everyone being dead!
Though in the end, home was destroyed anyway.
Yeah!
That won't happen here.
Yes, it will! In like 5 minutes!
Into fighting spirit, I sense.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Mr. Bankai knew this place exists. It's not that he can't destroy it, he just doesn't see the point. He's too bored. He wants, if anything, to let these people grow a bit so that it's worth killing them.
My rage.
Because he's an asshole!
Feel that our so-called rulers. It comes from having so much of myself stripped away from me back then. Friends, family, home. They took everything from me.
This scene would be so much more serious if I hadn't dressed up
I
everyone.
was completely alone. At least that's what I thought.
Well, I mean, you were.
But not anymore.
Also, our face should be horribly disfigured. We haven't been able to even clean our face in 300 years.
I've met people who I care about. Friends who hold me up. Friends who make me feel like I'm worth something. And I won't lose that.
I swear his sleeve looks like a very sad mouse.
I'll protect those bones with everything I have. That's why I need to keep fighting.
But Xion comes first.
Of course. First we rescue Xion. Then we defeat Volron and liberate Dana. Everyone, will you fight with me?
Say the word and I'm there.
Certainly no objections.
Then it's agreed. Our next stop will be the capital, Pelegion. According to the villagers, there's a huge cliff separating Thistleum from the capital. Luckily for us, there's a path we can use to climb up.
Sounds like a plan. Let's go.
Was that a person on the cliff staring at us?
We don't know what lies ahead. We should prepare well before we venture forth.
Yeah,
Bah,
you
fuck
can't
that.
exactly fight at the top of your game when you're hungry.
Good point. Let's stop by the inn and plan our next move from there. By the way, how is Mahavar doing?
I don't even remember what that is. Is whatever this is dead?
Tell me we still...
Oh, he was the captain, right?
It's not like we haven't been looking. I've covered the whole length and breadth of the coast, but
I mean, the captain does go down with his
We're
ship.
accounted for, including us. But we weren't able to find Mahavar. He's still missing.
He's probably dead.
I see.
Perhaps he couldn't bring himself to abandon the ship.
You mean at the bottom of the ocean? Damn it.
We don't know that it sank. We all washed up on the same shore. If the ship went down, isn't it strange we haven't come across a single piece of debris?
Not if it's at the bottom of the ocean.
Alive somewhere out there?
It's a possibility.
Stranger things have happened.
Yes, they have.
Alive or otherwise. We've exhausted all the avenues available to us.
Yeah, there's not anything we can do about
All we
that.
can do now is press on ahead.
True.
Fine. Let's get going. Thistleum was founded by Danan's fleeing the tyranny of Renan lords, right? But when you first came, they must have known Dohalim was Renan. So why do you think they let us in?
Because they're not dicks.
But it wasn't just Dohalim they were wary of. They didn't trust any of us.
Even the weird Danans just like them?
When you live life in constant fear of being pursued, it's only a matter of time before all outsiders start to seem a potential threat.
Again, Mr. Bankai knows they're here. There's no way he doesn't.
You saw how Destiny...
He was fucking bushwhacking through the fucking woods at the start of the game, bitch smacking me around!
Of course.
He could have killed us at any time!
Things.
He kept us alive because it was entertaining for him!
Person at ease.
That's what he's doing to these people! He's watching them, drinking a cup of coffee, being like, maybe next Tuesday I'll nuke them! here!
Something's on your mind. You having second thoughts about rescuing Shion?
Of course not. Shion's our friend. Almadria was the one I hated. For as long as I can remember, she served as a symbol to me of everything Renin. But ever since getting to know Shion, I realized it doesn't make sense to group people together like that.
It sounds like this is a very long-winded explanation for racism.
Besides, the situation with Almadria was something else entirely. I'd already decided I wasn't going to kill her, but when I saw her dying right in front of me, a part of me thought it served her right. That she got
It did!
deserved.
She was a terrible person.
Part regretted that someone else had come along and killed her instead.
She's dead.
Don't
Same
get me
end.
wrong. If I had the chance again, I still wouldn't kill her. But it's not like I'll be shedding any tears now that she's gone.
It's normal to have mixed emotions. We're human.
It's also
We're confusing piles
I don't know how to
of
make sense
stupidity and chaos. That's what makes us
You
great.
said it had to make sense.
Huh?
Winwell, you've done nothing wrong.
I feel like everyone here just needs a hug.
And the beliefs you've held all your life. It's only natural for you to feel disoriented. You didn't give in to the hatred you felt for Almadria. You made a choice not to kill her. And that's significant.
I'm really enjoying drinking this
You
tea.
realize it or not. As for what it means exactly, that might be worth taking some time to figure out on your own.
We'll have lots of time walking through the fucking mountains
You don't want to.
to think.
It's just an idea. I'm still searching too, remember?
No, you're... I think you're right. It can't hurt to keep searching after all. And hey, thanks, Kisara.
Okay. We'll call that a video. Hope everyone out there had a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. Bye. Yay!